And we're back with more of our special series, Confronting Cancer, with NBC's chief medical editor, Dr. Nancy Snyderman, and our panel of cancer experts once again, Dr. Len Lichtenfeld, Dr. Susan Love, and Dr. Eric Horowitz. And we got a lot of email questions from our viewers because the series has been phenomenal this week. So the first one is from our viewer email from Kathleen in New York, and she asks, I've just been successfully treated for colon cancer, and I'm told I am cancer-free. Does this mean I'm cured? Can you ever be fully cured from cancer?
The big C word.
Yeah,
this is it. You know, the problem is we can look at big groups of people and say we cure, 80% of breast cancer, for example. But we can't tell you that you're cured because there could be microscopic cells that are dormant somewhere else that could pop up years later. And the only way we can really say you're cured is when you die of something else, of a stroke at 95, and the colon cancer doesn't come back, and you say, guess you cured colon cancer. So we really can't say it to one person, although we can say it in groups. We can say how successful we are.
We have a second question from Deanne. This is a Skype question. I think Deanne is live and ready to go.
Hello.
Hi, Deanne.
Hello.
What's your question?
I'm adopted, and they say you should get tested early for cancer if you have a history of it in your family. Since I don't know my family history, when should I start getting tested? And are there cancers that I should get tested for that normally everyone doesn't get tested for?
Len, my 22-year-old daughter is adopted, and we went through this kind of dilemma. What do you suggest people?
That is a very difficult question, one that we think about a lot. And the bottom line is, if you know your adopted parents, your birth parents rather, then you can answer the question, answer it simply. But if you don't, then the best recommendation probably is going to have to be follow the recommendations. So in this situation, she should obviously be screened for cervical cancer, breast cancer, colorectal cancer. She should talk to her healthcare professional about the right time for all those different tests. It's too much to go into here, but follow the general recommendations. But again, the best news would be we really should be finding out or have some mechanism in place to find out how we can get information about birth parents so we can counsel people appropriately.
And we're going to tell people where to go on the web to find those guidelines because they're rather specific.
Absolutely. Yes. Now we have a phone call coming into us from Kathy. She has a question about lung cancer. Go ahead, Kathy.
Hi. I'd like to know why there seems to be such an alarming increase in lung cancer in otherwise healthy, non-smoking adults. It's very disturbing.
That is a very good question. I've thought the same thing myself. And Dr. Horowitz, you want to take that one?
Well, this I think goes back to we're understanding much more about the genetics, and we can say certain cancers are caused by this, but there's a lot of parts that we don't know yet about what causes cancer, and there's a lot of environmental factors that we don't know. For lung cancer, well, for certain other cancers, there's actually a lot of interest now in that certain viruses are actually causing cancer that we used to never think about before, and that's certainly with cervical cancer and actually certain head and neck cancers. We're not exactly sure about that for lung cancer, but there clearly now is a group of young people who do not smoke who get lung cancer, and it's clearly an identified group now, but we don't know why that's the cause. But it is probably something that we just haven't seen yet. But knowing some of the other issues with viruses and all, it could be something.
Or environmental factors.
We have one final email, anonymous. I'm going to direct this to you, Susan. I'm a breast cancer survivor, 10 years. I've been through chemo, radiation, and a stem cell transplant. I seem to be healthy, but do I have an increased chance of getting ovarian cancer?
No. The people that have the mutation, that have the gene for breast cancer, have an increased risk of both breast and ovarian cancer because that gene predicts for both. But if you don't have the gene, if you just have garden variety breast cancer, for whatever that's worth, then you don't have an increased risk of ovarian cancer. So it's really specifically for women who carry the mutation, and that's only 5 to 10% of all breast cancers. So what we really need to do is not just this molecular biology research, but also figure out the cause, whether it's lung cancer or colon cancer or breast cancer, so we can stop it before it happens in the first place.
Right.
So all women out there should join the Army of Women. Go to armyofwomen.org.
Putting it out there one more time. There you go. Thank you all so much, Dr. Nancy Snyderman. Thanks for helping us out. Dr. Len Lichtenfeld, Dr. Susan Love, and Dr. Eric Horowitz. Great to have you here. Great information. You can read more, by the way, about confronting cancer today on our website, todayshow.com. A lot more about what we weren't able to get to here today.